Jeff Charlton, disaster relief expert, is with me here in the studio. Jeff, we don't know how bad it's going to be, but we presumably have to prepare for the worst.
Absolutely. The government sent leaflets out about 2 years ago advising all families across the country to prepare for exactly this type of disaster, a wide area disaster, flooding like this. You know, all resources locally will evaporate, as it were, so people should be prepared for self-help in the forthcoming events.
So how do we do that?
Well, people should have made contingency plans for things. You know, they should have made triage assessments of what's important to them, such as, well, look, insurance policies. Where are they? Are they likely to be flooded and damaged beyond recognition? So I'm going to put those somewhere safe. Some types of furniture, you know, solid wood furniture probably wouldn't be that badly affected by a flood, so that might be okay, but MDF type furniture, people should move upstairs. If you've got stuff that you can move away from the flood zone, out of harm's way, move it away. Be prepared. Be prepared for what you can do after the flood waters recede and what you can do to mitigate the damage that's going to be caused by the flood waters.
But I can just put sandbags around my house, can't I, and that will keep the water at bay?
Well, the problem is most people don't really know how to put sandbags up, and sandbags on their own don't really do too much for people. You know, there's chemical sandbags like absorbees that you can put up that swell with the water and make a tight keystone type sandbag arrangement, but really you should put polythene first and then put sandbags over the polythene or covering the polythene, so you've got some sort of seal. But the biggest problem, of course, is that water will still come into the house through drains, sewers, through the electrical inlets coming into your house, gas pipes that come into your house, through air bricks. So you've got to expect that water is going to get in, and even if you could prevent it coming in, if the water level rises to more than about 3 feet, you're going to start to see huge pressures exerted on the brickwork or the brick envelope of a building, and it can actually push the building off of its foundation. So what
do? Do you open the doors if that
yes,
starts to happen?
I think if the water starts to come up too high, you're just as well opening the doors, letting the water come in, and more importantly, letting the water go out. Be prepared for it to come in, be prepared to help it go out too.
What about health risks? Well,
they say there's about 1,400 different viral infections in floodwaters and about 120 bacterial infections in floodwater. It's normally classified as a black water flood because the floodwaters that come along are going to go across farmlands, through soil, through garden soil, through drains, sewers, and it's going to pick up an awful lot of contamination, oils and things like that, especially if people live in industrial areas. The issue is that when that water comes in, although it's going to be classified as black water, the dilution factors shouldn't make it too much of a health risk. But if people have got cuts and abrasions, grazes are more of a health risk to people because more contamination.
What about the nasty things that come with water, like rats?
Well, I think the rats, you know, they're going to swim away.
Well, we sincerely hope so, but what if they're swimming in your direction?
Well, I think that they say in major cities you're never more than about a metre away from
That's why
anyway.
I ask.
Well, I think, you know, they're going to be as frightened as water or being in your home as anybody else. So I think that that's not your major issue. I think the major issue is because this is going to be quite an unusual flood in Great Britain, because we're normally...
So you're sure it's absolutely going to happen? We absolutely have to be prepared. It's not, oh, it might happen, this flood's coming.
Well, that's what it looks like. That's what the meteorologists have told us. But I think the issue that we've seen on this event is normally we see floods in the winter months or spring. We are now in the middle of summer. Now, once these houses are saturated and the sun comes out in 2 or 3 days' time, our houses are going to, or the properties that have been affected, are going to turn into giant grow bags with all of the nutrients that have come in from the floodwaters, all of the organic material that's in our homes. We're going to see a proliferation of mould, bacteria, so people should be fully aware that they really need to start cleaning up very, very quickly.
And a quick thought, we are out of time sadly, Jeff, but I just wanted to check, if you've lost your insurance documents in a flood, what do you do with your insurance company?
I think you should contact someone like the Association of British Insurers or go to your broker, and they will be able to give you some sort of help.
OK, Jeff Charlton, thanks very much indeed. Thanks a lot.